Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode, we're not playing Gijon, but we actually have Atletico Bilbao, who are ahead of us in the league in the Spanish Cup. I think it's the fourth round or the third round. It's the fourth round there. Win that one there, you make the quarterfinals, and if we do that, I think the board will be happy with us and making it a bit later in the Spanish Cup competitions. As we can see here, the board are a little bit hesitant on us still because we're not in the Champions League spots. However, today's episode, the reason why we're here at Gijon is the transfer budget's down to 6 mil, and I'm going to tell you why that is in just a second. But if you're enjoying the content, give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're now passing episodes 130 and we're going beyond. And with the fact of the matter is that this team needs such a rebuild, I honestly think we could be here for quite a few seasons to come. Now, first thing we're going to do is just recap, obviously, some results since we last met. We obviously had that massive 3-0 win against Sevilla, which came out of nothing. We haven't been playing good football at all. We just lost to Almeria, obviously 2 games before. We beat Tenerife like we should have. We've lost a lot of games that we really shouldn't have lost this season on paper. And, well, we backed it up by beating Manchester United 4-1 in the 4-4-2. To be fair, United play better than us, but this 4-4-2 just knows how to FM people. Joe Felix and Smitten are actually fully rotated trying to lose this game, but it means in the Champions League, I'm probably going to keep my job because we got enough points on the board and I played Apoel last that I am going to make it out of the 24, and there's a likelihood that I could sneak into the top 8 if some results go my way. But in saying that, though, obviously a result much against the run of play, but yet again proving that the 4-4-2 is not the system. We decided to play it against Espanyol, who were, sick but only a couple points behind us, so not the worst point ever. But yet again didn't play particularly well, and it's been the big problem is the inconsistency of this side. The 4-2-3-1 loses a game, it wins a game. You play the 4-4-2 in the Champions League. My 4-4-2 is yet to lose in the Champions League. It's beaten Chelsea, United, drawn to Juve. In saying that, though, I led 2-0 against Benfica in the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2. Away from home, Benfica scored 2 goals and we were lucky to hold on for a draw. Win that game, we could make the 8, to be fair. That game was just here, last game we played. In saying that, though, we played the 4-2-3-1 against Zaragoza, we won. We got absolutely smacked up by Real Madrid in the league. The 4-4-2 yet again, no good in the league. We got killed in the Super Cup semi-final, which I kind of just threw away, saying it's a nothing competition. We played Real San Sebastian, who obviously FM'd us at the start of the season. Didn't play particularly great, but we got a goal late doors, and that's all that matters. So another good little point there. We beat a non-league side in the third round of the Cup, and against Benfica, as mentioned, we were 2-0 up and flying. Decided to go 4-4-2 in the second half to see out the game. Conceded 2 goals, and we're lucky not to lose outright. So I think this year we can look at it in a few ways. We've been and we've been inconsistent, especially for October. We were very poor. But at the same stage, we've drawn a few games that we shouldn't have drawn, and in the Champions League we've been very dogged. So I think the 4-4-2 has some potential, but I do think the 4-2-3-1 is what we're building to. Hence why I've made some signings. Alejandro Science is one that I'm going to talk about, but I actually want to go to the transfer history, and we're going to go in chronological order. So from here upwards, we've made some sales. Now, Pierre Hinicap, we sold to Real Hippos on a 1-year deal, and he's ending his time at Hippos at the end of the season. Now, he had 6 months left on his contract. He was on 325k a week. Hippos only had to pay him 30. We're still paying him out of 325k, 90k for the next 6 months. But that's a swing of 245k. That gave me an extra 10 mil or so in the budget here, which you can see here, which was huge. We also sold a couple other guys as well. We had a guy come back from loan called Fernandez. We sold for a couple mil, a couple of loans. Mohamed obviously not a good enough centre-back, and I was targeting centre-back, so loaned him out more of his wage, and we managed to get Hristo off, who was on 30k a week, for a couple mil as well. That freed up a lot. Danny Ulic has been the one guy that doesn't want to leave here at the football club. Danny Ulic I'm now going to decide just to hold on to and then release. I've had 2 bids accepted from Palace for 160k. Doesn't want to go. Leeds and Leicester have given him a contract. Doesn't want to sign. He's one of those guys who just wants to sit and earn his 200k a week. Definitely not worth it. It was one of the bigger problems at the club, and what I attribute our poor form to is having Hinicap and him declining and not being quick enough to play in a very heavy pressing system. So what does that mean, Damien? That means we have to sign some centre-backs, and well, we signed 2, and here we go. First things first is Tim. Now, Tim isn't the greatest centre-back of all time, But the reason why we signed Tim is two reasons. We did it last night on stream, is because Tim was wanted by Newcastle and Real Madrid, two elite sides in the save, and if they're interested, obviously we want to go. Secondly, 6'2", with great positioning, great tackling, good concentration, and also has got fairly good pace. Needed, he's 27, right in his prime. Yes, I'd rather obviously have maybe someone a bit younger and developed, but the thing is players that are interested in coming to us at Atletico, because it's been so yo-yo, we aren't the creme de la creme. When started saying Atletico have a lot of drawing power, we still got some drawing power, but we don't have good drawing power. So we need a couple of good seasons, and hopefully Tim's that guy, that Tim Stenenbergen is going to be the guy that gets us from being, okay, we're not a bad football club here in Spain, to, okay, we're going to start trying to go and knock on the door of Barca and Real Madrid and hopefully be a destination club for some bigger name players in the future. But he's going to do the job, and, you know, he's started off okay so far here in the league. Second one, though, is Alejandro Sainz. I'm going to just squad register him in here quickly. Now, big thing is we were paying 2.2 mil when I started here at the football club. It's now down to 1.6, which is massive. My only worry is with the wage cap is obviously if obviously if they see my wage cap has gone down so much, they cut my wage cap. Hopefully won't be the case, but we'll find that out obviously as well. But Alejandro Sainz, in he comes. He's come from Cologne, and he's a very good footballer. I will say he's more of a defensive midfielder. If you have a look at him, he's fantastic in there, but I am going to be playing him as a ball-playing defender on cover for sure, at back of line, and really try to help us out back there. It's the main reason I brought him in. He's only 6 foot, but he's your typical Spanish centre-back. First touch, headering, barking, passing. Very good, great positioning yet again. Decent amount of speed with acceleration. Yet again, in his prime at 28, one of the better players that we could have signed. Probably should go into the middle of the park eventually. The plan for Sainz is we sign him, we play him at the centre-back, and eventually you find a 21, 22-year-old centre-back who's got great potential to come in, or a 19-year-old like Linden or something like that, and then this guy moves into the middle of the park and makes us a lot stronger. We've signed him here from Cologne for 21 mil, which was his release fee. Was at Levante a long time, went to Dortmund. Dortmund sold him before I picked him up. Somehow Cologne got it for 2.7 mil. I think Montpellier got relegated. That was his release fee. We've paid 21. Spanish makes it good for squad registration, which, you know, obviously we've lost a couple of players here, but I still think Champions League registration is going to be huge for us going forward. But he's a great player too. That puts us in a pretty good position with the club. Like, if we go like this and get Nkili out to the bench and we bring in Saints, it's not a bad team at all. I really do like it. I do think he's better on cover as well. But playing two covering centre-backs, I'm not too sure I really want to do it. But we shouldn't be too bad. I think the last thing I want to check is Sainz left-footed? He's not. Both guys can play with the ball. But that makes us a bit of a quicker back four, which is important. It gives us the speed and the ability to go in here. I think that's two really big signings, something we really need to have a look at. We're looking at the season preview now. We're still predicted to come fourth. Have a look at the back four. It's meant to be Joe Victor and Saints together. They always want me to play Joe Victor at the back. Never going to do it. Joe Victor's definitely better playing forward line. We really do love him in there. But look, obviously, we've got a lot of work to do. Hopefully we go a little bit of a run here, beat Dijon, Apoel, Albacete before we play Bilbao, and that's what's going to be the second part of this episode. Let's see how these new signings go in the next 3 games, and I'll be back in a second for the Bilbao match. Alright, YouTube, Spanish fourth round of the Cup. Atletico Bilbao away from home. They sit ahead of us by a couple of points. Important to note, we are into the Champions League prim and proper, but we got a horrid draw. Man City finished just below us in the league phase. Yes, Manchester City, and that's who we got. Please note some of the sides that did not make it through the league phase. Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Interesting. Dortmund didn't, even though they nearly won it last year under me. And PSG. A horrid time. The league phase has had some interesting teams finishing 8. Milan, Madrid, Liverpool, Ajax, Wolfsburg, Porto. 3 sides that you look at and go, no. Inter have never been particularly great, and Napoli. So 3 teams from Italy, and a German side that you wouldn't have expected, and Ajax, which, look, there's nothing against it. Ajax as well, we had 2 teams going undefeated in Real Madrid and Liverpool. Ajax won 6 of their 8, so fair play, but it means that this league knockout first round is like star-studded. One of the teams this knockout round, I would say, would win the whole thing, and that could be Dortmund, it could be Bayern, it could be PSG, it could be Man United. Who knows? But yeah, it's a star-studded round. Now, let's get to this game here and get to our performances because we've had a few games with the new centre-back partnership. We won 1-0 against Gijon. Look, it was a good performance, but just yet again, extra free, only one goal. Kept the clean sheet though in our first game, which is superb. We then played Apoel. We won 4-1. In that game here, we absolutely dominated, which was great. Made some rotationary changes. And against Albacete, we went down to 10 men very early on. Joe Felix double footing someone in the 12th minute. But from there, we played really well. I played Saints in the middle of the park here to play in Killy because I sort of rotated for this game. And we did very well. Important to know, Jean-Philippe, when he wants to, he's a very good attacking fullback. And that one he played sensationally. Now, what this means for us is winning this game here is huge because it'll probably mean the board will be happy with what we do. I think, for me, if I've been competitive in the Champions League, they'll be happy. A feat by me reaching the later stage of the cup, which is the quarterfinal plus, the board will be happy. And then if I finish fifth, they'll probably look at it and go, all right, you get another year. And that's all that matters. The supporters hate me because I don't play direct football. They want me to sit there in 2 banks of form, pumped it long. I'm not particularly like that. We haven't scored many from set pieces, and being competitive against Real Madrid is hard. Being recognised as one of the best of the rest, if we finish fourth, maybe. Now, without further ado, we are going to go with this team here. Chivalery comes back in for Radicic, who I have to say is fast becoming our number one. He's developing quite well. He's 20, still a wonder kid. I think he's fantastic. Chivalery, though, in goal. We got Jean-Philippe going the back up because his form's been fantastic. Saints and Tim going to start learning that back four. We are playing with 2 covering centre-backs because of speed. Alberto been playing as wing-back on attack. Hasn't been working any role, so we're just trying that. Tyrone Scope from deeper line playmaker. Tyrone starting to hit some form, but Joey Victor comes in on the other side. Dieter's playing a lot of minutes because of the injuries we keep getting. Felix, Song's back from injury again, and Vera has done alright. Smith's been scoring goals of late. Camper's been injured. Sears injured again. Someone that's just too injury prone that we're going to look to sell. It's a big game here against Atletico Bilbao. They can only sign Basque players, which, you know, I'm guessing they have a mental intakes because I see some saves where Bilbao struggle a lot. They've not struggled once in this save. Keeper and net from Bilbao looks good. Marino's not a bad fullback. Luiz on loan from Fulham is obviously Basque. Andre Aguirre is a 26-year-old. That's not the worst centre-back in the world. Goni's pretty well-rounded. Unai Vencido, they signed back from Dortmund. Andre Alonso looks decent in the middle of the park. Garcia's okay too. Neco Williams is still here at 33. John Lucas is okay. And they got this guy up front who's fairly quick. I look at that team and I will say that I understand that they can only sign Basque players. They've done okay, but yet again, it's another solid side that's a little bit we should beat. I've decided to go 4-2-3-1, was definitely tempted to play 4-4-2 if Felix was suspended, which I thought he would be, but apparently in Spain it doesn't carry over into the Cup, which is a good thing. I would have played 4-4-2 and went Vera and Danny Schmidt up top, but I'm going to line up this way and go after Bilbao. I think that's our best cause of action. I'll definitely be going 4-4-2 against Man City and probably dying, but you never know what happens there. Anyway, ball goes long. Can we deal with that, please? And Saints does. Joe Felix now finds Tim, who finds Saints. And the ball playing from the back should be pretty good here with Saints. And he finds Tyrone, and he will go back to Chivalery, who will find Tim Steenberg. Joey Victor now has Alberto. Instead, he plays with Felix. Alberto starts bombing on, and we need running from Song here. Alberto instead tries to beat his man. He's not known for it. Then he whips one in towards Song. Good touch. Very well done from Song. Mistake. Felix went down. Penalty not given because Dieter's picked it up. And inside a minute in the Cup, 4th round, we lead 1-0 against Bilbao. It was a weird highlight. We lost. It was a bad back pass. Felix went down. It was definitely a pen. Good advantage from the referee, though, because Dieter hit it first time and put it in the top bin. Don't know how this would not have been given on a VR review. No winning of the ball from Vencido. But Dieter, top of the bar. And a highlight from kickoff again. Well, we just scored from kickoff and it was their kickoff. Who knows? But we don't want to see too many highlights here. Let's be honest. Anyway, ball from Felix goes flying in. Vera now. Joe Victor. Tyrone. Finds Saints. Finds John Philippe. Drives inside. Saints now. Joe Victor. Finds Joe Felix. Needs a runner. Finds Alberto. Song's ahead of him. Alberto goes in the area and shoots straight at the keeper. Good start from Atletico Madrid. We look up for it inside the first couple of minutes. It's been a very good start here. We've scored with the first chance and we've put another one on target. I don't mind this at all. Alberto's having a pretty good game, which is not bad. Tim with another booking. He loves getting booked by the looks of things, does Tim. 20 minutes played though. We lead 1-0. And we've been much the better side, which makes this playing the 4-2-3-1 very, very nice. The 4-4-2 has been biting us back in the backside. I will move to it in the 75th minute if we're more than one goal up. I think at 1-0 it just invites too much pressure. At 2-0, okay, we might concede one. It does generally keep a clean sheet, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, that's a very good first half. We played very well. I don't mind there not being many highlights. We're keeping the ball, which is something that we haven't been doing a lot of this season. And yeah, this has been a very good start. Anyway, Dieter find John Philippe after the tackle falls to him, and he can whip one here. Vera's decent in the air. Falls to Vera. Oh, it's a big miss. It was a mistake by the centre-back, and Vera hits from point-blank range straight at the keeper. That's as big as a miss as you're going to see. We should have been 2-0 up, and we're not. And this is the issue for this season, is we just miss too many chances. Alonso now finds Aaron Burr. Big switch. John Philippe's in a good area. Wins the header. Tyrone now finds Dieter, who can build. Dieter now drives inside. Beats one with speed. He's a quick little lad. 1-2 with Joe Felix is on. Got ignored. Finds Alberto. Ahaka does not happy with Lukaku after Inter lost. Joe Felix for 2-0. That's 2-0. That's a big goal. We've been fantastic today. And that is 2-0, 61st minute. Joe Felix, when he wants to, he's a very good footballer still. And that's a good ball to Alberto. Alberto's not much going forward, but he gets in a good area. And I think I just prefer him being a little bit more aggressive just because it works in the system a bit more. And that's a great ball in. It's a great goal. We deserve to be 2-0 up. 10 shots, 9 on target. This is by far the best game we've played. A few of the boys at the back looking a little bit dead because of the minutes they've been playing, but it is what it is. 68 minutes played. Saints finds Tyrone. John Philippe now goes on a run. Inside of Tyrone. Joe Felix now. Joe Victor looking for Vera. Left it. Mistake. Vera scores. It's 3-0. Both centre-backs looked at each other. Stopped. And, well, it's a mistake. We've been blown out the water. We're going through to the next round. Maybe this is the start of the page turning. We've had a very inconsistent and a very shocking first half of the year. And, well, now maybe, just maybe, we're starting to turn the corner. With that being said, I know we're 3-0 up, but I am going to move into the 4-4-2 here to start wasting a touch more time. It also means that we can also get Sergio Destin. Also going to get Saints into the middle of the park here to be a little bit more of a sitting midfielder. With Joe Felix, with Joe Victor. Means I'm going to bring in Killian. We have got Tim not being 100%, so Okafor will come in too to provide a little bit at the back. Bit more pace to hold on, of course, as well. Danny Schmidt's going to come in for Vera. He's just come back from international duty, so give him a touch of rest. And then lucky last here as well. I might leave one change up our sleeve just in case we need it. But there we go. 72nd minute. Moving to the two banks of four here. It's now about just seeing out this game now as well. And hopefully we will, which would be fantastic. We're not long left to go here. 83rd minute, I am going to make our last change. And that is going to be Ferran Torres in on that side there. And that is just going to be for Dieter to come off to get a little bit of extra rest. Well, it's been superb. It's been a great result and a great win. Now it's just a case, do we keep a clean sheet here? Sainz goes back into Dest. Punts one to Ferran Torres, will get there. Numbers in the box here. Cuts it. Deflection. It's in. It's 4-0. Would have much rather it fall to Danny Schmidt at the back stick. But look, 4-0. It's been as superb as you would like. And I know this was a danger game. They're ahead of us in the league table. We've not been particularly good. But the last two YouTube episodes, we've said we've not been particularly good. We have slapped them. Maybe, usually we've been really good. We turn on YouTube, we don't win. This season's been, we haven't been overly great. We turn on YouTube, we look $1 million. So maybe we just need to film every game for YouTube. We win 4-0. We had 12 shots, 11 on target. Very, very clinical. It hasn't been like this at all this season. You know, you look at the data hub and we have 5 goals under our expected goals, which is not good. But we love it, and it's pretty good to see what goes on. We got Valencia in the next round, which we should be able to win at home, but we'll wait and we'll see what happens there. The data hub here, obviously lucky last in the team performance. We absolutely dominated here, and which was good for the majority of the game. As you can see here, though, 5 goals under, 2 goals under. Apparently, we should be free. We're 3 points extra where we should be, but Babao and Hippus especially are flying ahead of where they should be as well. With that being said, though, I'm going to see you guys next time for another episode. I don't know where that's going to lie in. I'm not giving you Manchester City because there's no real need. we're going to get pumped and we'll be out of the Champions League. But now it's all about what we can do in the cup, and can we go on a run? We'll find out. See you guys next time. Thank you.